I know why. I bet Zach screwed it up last night. It's coming on now.
Thank you.
Yep. Sorry, we had an event in here last night. I bet he turned it off immediately. I bet he didn't know what was happening.
Unless you want to have it really slow, you can't use it. I mean, you can all do it, but then there's
I've been watching your
Yeah.
Oh, it is sure.
Sorry.
Harder than the
Yes, you can go from that.
I call this meeting of the South Coast School Line Student Association Senate to order. Roll call and approval proxies.
Alright,
Present.
Terrence.
Here.
Captain. Here. Fernandez.
Here.
Finn.
Here.
Keel.
Here.
Leonard.
Here.
Lewis.
Here.
Lindgren.
Here.
Smith.
Here.
Richards.
Here.
Shaw.
Here.
Seekman.
Here.
Stanek.
So.
Severson.
Here.
Foster. Here. Winter.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Alright, did everyone get a chance to look over, so the agenda does have a couple of new resolutions on it. You can just see them up, if you just look up, you can see them there. Those are kind of added last minute. So just give you a chance to look at that real quick. And if you want to look at the resolutions, they're on the SharePoint, the teams, so. Anyone have a problem with the agenda? Any friendly amendments, anything? No? Alright. All those in favor of approving the agenda say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. It's passed. And then did everyone get a chance to look over the minutes from last week? They were sent out last night?
Yep.
Yeah, last night, so.
A couple changes were made. The edited minutes will be in SharePoint probably tonight, once we get a chance to drop them.
So, anything anyone would like to change with those? Seeing none, all those in favor of approving minutes say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Minutes are approved. All right. We don't have any open floor guests today. We don't have any unfinished business today, but we do have some new business. So let's go ahead and get through with that. First, we have the election confirmations for our freshman elections. So,
Resolution fall number 5, originated by the Governmental Relations Committee, presented by me, Senator Leonard. Whereas the following candidates received a majority vote in the elections sufficient to be declared the 2024-2025 incoming freshman senators. I apologize if I butcher these names. Winsetti, Butcher, Wombly, Gleska, Quintana, Mitchell Masters, and Alexander Yermalovich. Therefore, be it resolved by a majority vote of the Student Senate and the signature of the Student Association President that the results of the freshman elections on September 18th, 2024 be formally recognized. Any questions?
any motions? Senator Fernandez. All right. Second by Senator Lindgren. Motions, all those in favor of suspending rules say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Yes. Senator Fernandez, motion to vote. Senator Lindgren, second. Roll call vote.
Falarabe.
Aye.
Camps.
Aye.
Captain.
Aye.
Fernandez.
Aye.
Finn.
Aye.
Keel.
Aye.
Leonard.
Aye.
Lewis.
Aye.
Lindgren.
Aye.
Smith.
Aye.
Richard.
Aye.
Shaw.
Aye.
Seekman.
Aye.
Stan.
Okey dokey.
Severson.
Aye.
Shabazz.
Aye.
Winter.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Great. I'm going to go ahead and ask, since we have all the freshmen here, ask that you guys come up and line up just right here in front of me. It's like, kind of like facing me. Facing me. All right. Repeat after me. And raise your right hand. Well, raise your right hand and repeat after me. As a member of the Student Association Senate of South Dakota School of Mines and Technology, I state your name. Do hereby affirm to uphold the office of freshman senator, to abide by the Student Association Constitution, and to represent the Student Association to the best of my ability. Congratulations. All right. PlayStation's on. Alrighty. Everyone can settle down. I have a resolution by CFO Lockwood.
Wrong resolution. There. Okay. Done one day. All right. Archer Wee resolution number 24F006 on the 25th of September 2024, originated by Finance Committee, presented by myself. Whereas American Chemical Society has approached the Finance Committee with a supplemental request to provide funding for travel, housing, and conference fees. And whereas the appropriate paperwork has been filed with the Finance Committee, and whereas American Chemical Society has applied for SOAP within the last 5 fiscal years and has met eligibility requirements for supplemental funding, and Scroll down. And no, scroll up a little bit. Or, noting American Chemical Society had an extenuating circumstance in their leadership and provided a good explanation on why they didn't apply for SOAP in fiscal year 25, and whereas American Chemical Society has requested the supplemental funding limit at $5,000, and whereas the Finance Committee has deemed $3,875 as an appropriate amount to allocate to the organization, and therefore be it resolved by a majority vote of the Student Association Senate and the signature of the Student Association President that $3,875 be allocated from the SOAP reverted funds account 4SA003 to American Chemical Society. Any questions? All right, Jordan.
What is a good explanation?
So I think that like when I had conversations with a lot of the members of American Chemical Society, do you want to go before?
Yeah, I just want to say, how important is it that we get it passed? Do we need to get it passed this week?
No, this is
Okay.
this can be unfinished business next week. So what I think occurred with American Chemical Society, and I'm put a lot of my own biases to the side of it, was that during the previous fiscal year where they were requesting for SOAP, there was a very clear intent to put in their SOAP application, but they had a lot of issues with leadership in their, it was more so I think graduate students, and so it just became a mess. And I think when I was looking at it and what my finance committee determined is that because there was very much a clear intent to do SOAP, and because of issues with leadership and how much they have fundraised as well, I mean that it was appropriate. Yes.
Did they resolve those who in leadership who caused the issue? Are they still in power?
They have completely resolved it. It's now like a lot of the undergraduate students, and they have done a lot of fundraising within this fiscal year. Ben?
The simple and straightforward explanation is if all the leadership graduated and didn't care or failed to put in the efforts to make sure the club could continue because they all graduated. So this is new underclassmen that are keeping the club alive, and they just didn't get the paperwork in at the end of last year. So we're not going to max out the supplemental requests to fulfill their stuff. There's some things that we denied out of the request. It's just the essential is to make sure that they do everything they need to, and all the events that they typically do that are off campus are already funded by other offices on campus, like the president's office or admissions for like Mind Stay at the Capitol, or other things like summer nights.
So do we have a spreadsheet or a line item list of what the $3,375 is going toward? Is it going toward travel, resources? Give me a little explanation about that.
So whenever an organization has to submit a supplemental request, they have to provide a form with evidence and do you want to go?
It's in the Teams.
Yeah, it's in the
If
Teams.
you go into the finance folder on Teams, you can go to supplemental requests, and it's broken down by category with paragraph, like written explanations for what each charge is by the club.
Yeah.
We do that for every supplemental request.
And it specifically, like even with like providing links and important information about the conference, they did provide that as well. So it wasn't just completely like random. Majority of the cuts that we see here with the 5,000, the difference of 3,875 that we're allocating for them, is that as a committee we determined that they overestimated their plane ticket cost for way too much, and we thought it would be way too inappropriate to give them that total that they were requesting, and so we just reduced that by a significant amount. And, yeah.
And just as a point of clarification for new members, correct me if I'm wrong, clubs that do not receive SOAP funding that are still in good standing are entitled to ask for up to $5,000 of supplemental funding.
Yes, so like what says in the whereas earlier within this resolution is that within the last 5 fiscal years, if they applied for SOAP, that they would be eligible for a supplemental if it was necessary. And if it's a newer organization that wasn't able to apply for SOAP, like what we saw with Homebrew Computer Club earlier this semester, then we can determine like the limit is $750. Any more questions?
Alright, we'll see this next week. And then I think you can probably stay up there.
Yeah, stay up there. Next resolution.
Yep.
And this one will also give a good amount of questions. All right. Ready? Okay. Archery resolution number 24F007 on the 25th of September 2024, originated by Finance Committee, presented by myself. Whereas Ping Pong Rockers has approached the Finance Committee with a supplemental request to provide funding for tournament registration and travel, and whereas the appropriate paperwork has been filed with the Finance Committee, and whereas Ping Pong Rockers was recently formed and had not had the opportunity to apply for SOAP and is only eligible for $750 for this fiscal year, and whereas the Finance Committee has deemed $425 an appropriate amount to allocate to the organization, and therefore be it resolved by a majority vote of the Student Association Senate and the signature of the Student Association President that $425 be allocated from the SOAP reverted funds account 4SA003 to Ping Pong Rockers. Any questions? Hey, go.
So first of all, I believe you told me this is kind of time sensitive.
Yeah, so this is time sensitive, so if we are fine with it, there's not any questions that this needs to be passed today.
Well, and then I also had a second one. I wanted to open up for Corey a little bit because you have some explanation on kind of.
Yeah, so I kind of wanted to give Corey, because he notified me of this on Tuesday morning, so.
So it appears last minute, it's not necessarily, so, the national organization that my office belongs to, so the Association of College Unions International, used to do competitions for like 9-ball, table tennis, all those things. That piece has gone away. There is still a piece for our Clay Targets group could compete there, but the Ping Pong Rockers were contacted, I believe, from the team down at Chapman State about this new competitive organization that they could participate in, compete, could go to nationals, so could represent the university. Okay? In order to become a part of that, they have to pay a registration fee. Okay, so that's where part of this request is coming in. That is due on Tuesday. Okay? And so the president of the organization was like, oh, if I pay this now and we apply for a SOAP budget for next year, can I get reimbursed out of our budget at that time? And I said, unfortunately, due to state rules, like that would be past the deadline that they could be reimbursed. Same thing with CARA. Usually it's a little bit easier, but there are deadlines to reimburse. So as a staff member, I never want to see a student paying out-of-pocket costs, especially at that level, and not be able to be reimbursed. So at that point I said, can contact the Finance Committee, like now, to get information about supplemental and see if they would do something, especially since they hadn't applied for any more funding. So they worked with our CFO to get something in, and that's where this request is at right now.
Is that going to be like a recurring thing, or is it like a one-time registration? I'm just curious.
I'm not sure. I mean, like a lot of competitive things, there's some of our organizations, there might be annual dues that you've got to pay, and I'm not sure what the plan is.
Okay.
Again, we got the call probably the end of the week before, and I hadn't, because we've been so busy with homecoming, so I didn't call the advisor back. So students ended up connecting with each other anyway. So I would imagine that there would be something, but like a typical organization that's going to a conference or something, I think that they would build that into budgets in the future.
Senator Olarape.
Motion to suspend the rules.
Seconded by Senator Hernandez. All those in favor of suspending rules say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Senator Olarape.
Motion to vote.
Seconded by Senator Shannon. Roll call vote.
Olarape.
Aye.
Boucher. Butcher?
Aye.
Oh, sorry. I don't pronounce your name.
It was pretty good. I did.
Okay.
I did.
Okay. Gotcha. Yes.
Aye.
Jackson. Aye. Fernandez. Aye. Fink.
Aye.
Keel. Aye. Leonard.
Aye.
Lewis.
Aye.
Lindgren. Aye. Masters. Aye. Quintana.
Aye.
Richards.
Aye.
Shaw.
Aye.
Seekman.
Aye.
Smith.
Aye.
Stanek,
Aye.
Severson,
Aye.
Vossback,
Aye.
Winter,
Aye.
Jamalevich.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Moving on. Now we have open discussion.
Wonderful.
Alright. Yes. Alright, open discussion. Does anyone have any points of open discussion? Yes, Senator Leonard.
So I've observed that some of the water fountains around campus have the red for filter being attached. Is there like a way that the filters can be changed or anyone those can be fixed?
I would love to chime in on this. So, all of those LK water fountain, like water bottle filler things, come with like filters installed in them from the factory. We take them out entirely, so there's no filters in them because we have a central filtration system in campus. So they will show up as red lights after a certain period of time when the filter like resets itself. If you see that, go ahead and put in a campus work order by Googling SDS&T work order. We'll send a plumber out. They'll simply reset the water fountain. They literally just turn it off and back on again, and then it's good for like another 6 months. But we have a central filtration system in all the buildings that actually filters the water. So even if it shows red, the water is just fine.
And I'm aware of the one in the lower level, so I just haven't seen it before. I saw it earlier. Well, I thought about that.
Alright,
We got to take it.
any other points of open discussion? Alright, seeing none, moving on to Chief CFO report.
Okay. Thank you for passing the supplemental for ping pong rockers. So for the 420, just for clarification, so the 425 we just did for the conference, like the tournament registration and that kind of stuff. The remaining of the request was related to travel and travel expenses and like hotels, which is like we need more specifics as a committee when it comes to like those expenses than just like what I was simply provided. So there could be a future supplemental request when it comes to that issue. I recently got in contact with Circle K. They said that leadership had an issue with SOAP last semester. They didn't put much information in their email and I haven't received a reply yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if there is another supplemental request from that organization anytime soon. And that's it regarding supplementals. And then the big issue with the general activity fee and camp teams. Vice President Wee will report more on this within his report, but I can give a good synopsis of it as well, is that instead of just having GAF teams being directly funded by SOAP, we can just have that through directly through GAF instead. So instead of going through Finance Committee, it just goes through the GAF Act Committee, which is like administration plus some students on Student Senate. And there's a lot of open discussion about that, and we're going to be contacting Spindle, Amy, Deb, like all the people within administration regarding this issue. But otherwise, I don't really have that much to report, so.
Alright, any questions for CFO Lockwood? Seeing none, we'll move on to Vice President report.
First of all, welcome to our freshman senators. Glad you decided to join us and appreciate your willingness to serve. As our CFO mentioned, we've been working pretty hard on this camp GAF proposal. We had a pretty good discussion today, which I think revealed some possibilities that we had not considered previously. So I don't want to report on that right now, but for some of our newer folks, GAF is a fee that you pay per credit hour for classes you take here. And it goes into a large pool of money that is then, split off into Wellness Center, into athletics, into SOAP, into Student Association Senate. It gets split up into a lot of different places. And in the past, we've seen a little bit of a tight squeeze, making everyone's budgets fit, and a lot of the burden of getting cut has been on student organizations. And that's a problem because student organizations are big on our campus. So prioritizing funding for student organizations is huge, and we want to make sure that we have continued support in the coming years. So that's a big motivator, is making sure that our student orgs have enough money. I'll keep you posted on details on that.
And I quickly just add, just so that you're all aware too, when that gap money comes in, there are some bonds that have to get paid off. And so there's a bond from the Cervec Center from the last expansion, and then the Wellness Center. So those come right off the top because we've got the finance office has to pay those, and then whatever's left is what's given as a budget potentially for the gap back committee to use from that point.
Second issue of note is we still have a couple vacancies on Senate, looking for a junior, a senior, and a freshman. So that's a lot of open spots. So if you know people are qualified, who are willing to serve, who are willing to dedicate the time to represent their fellow students, their colleagues, please let me know, and I will get in touch with them. And final thing. What was the final thing? Oh yeah, just welcome to Senate. Please stay dedicated to your committees. Stay dedicated to being part of Senate. You're here for a reason. Continue representing your fellow students. Thank you.
Any questions for Vice President Lee? Yes, Senator
Point personal.
Oh yes, thank you. Alright, any other questions for Vice President Lee? Seeing none, my turn. President report. So first of all, yes, welcome to our new freshman center. Glad you made it. This is a really good experience for y'all. As Vice President Lee said, it's a very good experience for y'all going into the future. I came in as a freshman and I didn't regret it, so I'm glad y'all are here. It's a really good experience. Yeah, so welcome to Senate. We'll get to know procedures and whatnot over the next couple of weeks and months. And I'm hoping you all have a lot of fun doing so. Moving on from that, this week we had University Cabinet on Monday, and there were a couple of things I would like to discuss from that. First of all, good thing from Kara, we got a $6 million donation to school. It's the biggest ever donation. So in doing that, we are renaming the mechanical engineering department. Senator Sheikman, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what yeah, so we're renaming the mechanical engineering department because of the donation. So $6 million though, so that's pretty big. Second of all, a little less happy than that note. The finance office is looking at increasing tuition now, stopping tuition freeze. So the plan is to do it 3% tuition over the next 4 years. I know students, this might not be the greatest thing to ever hear. The one thing that they did say is that this will still keep us at a competitive cost and a very low cost compared to all of our other peers. However, I would still encourage you to talk to your fellow constituents about this, just so they are aware and can make comments on it if they would like to. Just so we can start a dialogue about this if need be. And then finally, another thing that I wanted to bring up as well that was brought up in that meeting, it also has to do with funding. Just due to financial budget strains, they're also pulling the free admission marketing money. So that is, I believe, the money that basically there's a day during the year where you can go on and you have your application fee waived coming into school. They're pulling that to go into the fast track program, which I believe is, can you explain the? Yeah, so kind of explain.
Yeah, so from what I understand, this isn't a concern at the university level, but I was in attendance at the meeting and I found it interesting and confusing. The BOR is rolling out this year a fast track program, a pilot process with 4 districts on West Riverside, I don't remember them exactly, where qualified seniors with a certain GPA get automatically accepted into 4 state universities. I believe the participants are SDSU, USD, BH, and northern. I don't think DSU and Mines are the two that are not included. And so I just found it interesting and of note that the Board of Regents was diverting some of the marketing money towards advertising for that program instead of doing the free application day, which is in a way pulling money from something that is to our benefit to something that is to just the state's benefit. Again, no one seemed concerned about this. I just thought it was interesting and a little perplexing and maybe something we'd want to ask a couple more questions about.
Senator Leonard.
So, two things. First, does this mean that, like, people like, veterans, international students, people who aren't obviously going to be benefited by this new fast track program, like, and who probably have a harder time filling out the application fees, they're not no longer?
Sorry, I wasn't clear. They're pulling money from marketing for this event. Nothing in terms of paying application fees is changed. It's simply marketed. And to my knowledge, I don't think they're pulling all the money. They're just pulling back.
But there's still, if you apply for this date, you get the free application.
Yes, that is not changing. It's simply just the advertising, which is a big part of making that program successful. Sorry, I wasn't clear on that.
That is a good clarification. Thank you. But yeah, so those are just a couple things we noticed in that meeting. So I'd recommend just talking to your constituents about that, just because we feel like with the increase in tuition and pulling marketing, because I don't know how many of you utilize that, but I was able to easily find out about the free application day, and I utilized that when I was applying to college. As Senator Christian.
What was the percentage increase in tuition?
3% per year.
Okay.
So 3% per year. Over 4 years.
For 4 years.
Yes. Senator Leonard, Lewis.
When you discussed the finance office talking about this, was this a message from the BOR finance office, or was this a South Dakota Mines finance office? We overheard this from someone at BOR.
This was Bill Spindle telling us, so.
Saying that he's going to be presenting this to the BOR as his recommendation.
Oh, so the BOR actually hasn't made any comments
No.
on it? Oh, so this is just a proposal from the school like has been made in the past? This isn't a BOR comment?
From my understanding.
Okay, that changes the narrative.
Yes.
And then on top of that, was there a discussion about fees? Or was it purely tuition?
No, just purely tuition.
Okay, so there's no true benefit to the student organizations that we've fought for out of this plan so far?
Exactly, which I think was what brought it to our attention.
Okay, is there a plan to make comments towards the finance office from this organization about that?
We're working on that right now. I guess.
Can you flesh that out a little more?
Yeah, so, this is new information as of literally Monday. So, I think we just need to process the information and get, get the correct information that we need to before we form a response and go to the finance committee to talk about it.
Yeah, when they presented this information at the meeting, they made it seem like it was already a done deal on a university level, and it was the first time we were hearing about it. So again, that's the reason it brought to our attention and will be dealt with.
Like a done deal as in they don't care our opinion done deal?
Done deal as it was going to be presented and had already been discussed and went through the proper university channels.
So are we going to be voting on the position on that this time?
I think that could be each channel to go through. We don't. Senator Voss said
Are there any more logistics coming from Bill about when he's presenting and what he's exactly going to be saying to the BOR regarding tuition increase?
Literally.
Does Ray have more about that?
I don't know. What I would, since Dean Joe was at cabinet and is at the table with executive, I would ask for some more information, because even as I'm listening, I'm a little confused. Are we pulling, is Dr. Spindle pulling from marketing budget that the university gives our marketing department to do certain things, or board pieces? So let's get some clarification on that. The only thing that I got from Dean Joe on my one-on-one on Monday, as far as increases, was that they were talking about the 3% for tuition, and then there was a percentage, I believe, that they were looking at for maybe lab fees or those kinds of things to get those back to a level. But at that point, there was nothing regarding a gap increase at this point. And that was what I was given. But the rest of this, I have no idea. So
the marketing is completely unrelated to the tuition thing, just making.
So-
Yes,
Yeah, okay,
absolutely.
yeah.
So I think we could get some more clarification from Dean Joe through exec council, and then maybe you guys can make an informed decision on how you want to stand on that.
Yeah, so this is very new, this is very like raw, but I wanted to bring it all, everyone's attention, so we just kind of know what's up in the, in our space, because I know that if that tuition increase comes through, that might cause a bit of controversy on campus, so, yes, Senator Lewis.
Being as this would be a development occurring throughout the week and not just during Senate period, would you mind setting updates as you meet with Dr. Spindle or someone from exec team does on Senate, so we can discuss this?
Yes, I will. I will make sure to get those updates out. Alright, so, and then I'll just keep moving on with my report, now. So, second part of my report, ad hoc committees, so I am getting, I think I've gotten 13 responses on that form I sent out last week. I'll resend it out today, but I please ask you to fill out that form, as it's really important that we get those forms filled out, because there are some committees like Parking Appeals Committee that really is a time sensitive one. I know I've heard that it sounds silly, I know, but Catherine Ellison is about to start the parking appeals process, and we need students on that committee in order to vote on that stuff. So that's very time sensitive. So yeah, please fill that form out. I'll send the link out here at the end of the meeting. Then moving on. Yes, Senator Boston.
How do these ad hoc committees meet weekly, just like the regular committees?
It depends. It depends on which committee we're on. So as I said, 5 of the 6 ad hoc committees are actually chaired by people like faculty members. So like I said, Catherine Hutchison chairs the Parking Appeals Committee. So it would just depend on how basically just the communication between those people. So it just really depends. Like I know Parking Appeals Committee, it's very loosey-goosey, for lack of a better word. I was on that 2 years ago, and it felt like that we didn't really have a clear set regular meeting time. So yeah.
Some of the committees only meet if there's an issue that comes up within open discussion and such. So they're just there as a, say that there's last year the wellness committee asked that we get better snacks in the crack shack, healthier snacks. And so that's the first time the food service committee met, was to actually discuss that. So, as an example.
And that one will change a little bit.
Senator Lewis.
I'd like to friendly amend the meeting minutes to say minor shack.
Thank you for that clarification. Alright. Moving on. Now I guess I'll ask to several questions to the end of my report now. So VR meeting, Maddie and I Senator Seekman and I are going this next Wednesday and Thursday. We'll just be driving a personal vehicle to Brookings and back. And we decided not to use incentive funds for that one. So, then moving on to not next upcoming meeting is the meeting after. Robert Sales will be coming to speak with us. So any questions regarding the Wellness Center, please bring those to that is the October 9th meeting. And then the following week after that, which is the October 16th meeting, the new athletic director, David Crum, is going to come meet with us. So very exciting time. So if you have any questions regarding the athletics department, please get those prepared for David Crum on October the 16th. And then lastly, I hope everyone had a good time at Career Fair. I know I did. Hope you guys got to talk to companies, get interviews, whatnot. So yeah. Other than that, in a report. Any questions? Seeing none, moving on to international report. Ethan took a point of personal privilege, but he told me that he has no report. So moving on from that to the veteran report.
No report.
Graduate report.
Nothing new, Mr. President. All right.
And then the non-traditional senator report.
No report.
All right. Moving on to committee reports, starting with Constitution.
So Senator Alarape
Want to welcome the new senators and the old senators. And we have approved, well, we've gone through some constitutions this last week, and we plan on having meetings with the Magic the Gathering Club, the Bangladeshi students, Lost and Found, and the Society of Petroleum Engineers in the near future. So you can reach out to him if you have any questions. End of report.
All right. Any questions for Senator Keel? Seeing none, moving on to the Public Relations Board.
Hello folks, thank you to everybody who helped with the PR stuff for N Week. It was a smashing success. Much love to you for helping. If you are a new senator or a senator who is not yet in the Snapchat and would like to be, please come talk to me. That is our primary mode for quick communication. And I think that's it for right now in the report.
All right. Any questions for Senator Siegman? Seeing none, moving on to government relations.
Just to say hi to all the new senators. Sorry, totally like. Coming up, we're gonna try and schedule another monument. A survey just went out. I would like to see like 100% completion on that. So we can't schedule any events unless we have 8 people for NISBO. So please take the time to fill that out. We tentatively have a Pinchero's meal scheduled for November 15th, and we'll hopefully be having an Applebee's meal scheduled pretty soon, or shall we date that next week.
I do have a couple of comments. So first of all, please fill out that form. We really need to have people come to this next monument event to show them that we mean business, because last time we were there, I'll put it frankly, Mr. Knudsen was a little disappointed with us. So please fill out that form. Please show up at 4:45 when we get there. And then on another thing, for the app, actually, I'll talk to you about what I was going to talk about after the meeting. So that's my only comment. Any other questions, comments? Yes, Senator, what's your last name?
Was this form, or will this form be forwarded to us as freshman senators?
You were included.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Was it sent out like right before the meeting?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Any other comments, questions, concerns for Senator Lander? Seeing none, moving on to our student affairs report.
Hello guys, new senators, welcome to the team. So no student affairs meeting tomorrow. I have a dentist appointment and some capstone stuff going on at that time. But we still have some things we need to work on, and that survey that I thought would be easy peasy to send out actually has to get approved by Dean Judd first. So we had some comments and we need to make a few changes, so I'll just ask you guys to the email chain for that, and we can just do that as we go. But my goal is to get that survey approved next week and have a Spirit Friday, next Friday, to promote said survey. And I will still message folks to next week's meeting and the report.
Any other comments, any questions, comments, concerns for Senator Winter? Seeing none, we'll move on. Campus ad hoc, we still haven't established those yet. Upcoming Senate business. Yeah, just fill out all those forms, like we said, but then, seeing that we don't have any important meeting item, agenda items for next, actually we do have that one agenda item. I think we're just gonna meet next week. So, never mind. Yeah. Any announcements?
So just real quick, I know Senator Hernandez didn't have this in his report, but if you're not aware of it, Beth Riley, the new director of the Ivanhoe International Center, is currently on a recruiting trip in Asia right now. I'm going to several other countries. This is the first time, and I don't even know how long the university's been able to recruit internationally. She'll get out there and hopefully we'll see some impacts from our international population. So pay attention to that Facebook page. It says she sent pictures back to the university of all of her different experiences. So it's a pretty good opportunity for us to be seen internationally.
Any questions for Senator Lewis? What?
And announcement.
Oh yeah, Senator Lewis.
I'd like to give a good happy birthday to our Vice President.
When's your birthday? Woo! You still have you beat Team Pregnancy. Alright, Senator Wagner.
Hang in there, guys. Only 6.5 fortnights till Christmas.
Alright, any motions? Senator Wayne, sorry.
We have a board right after this, so, we'll just be right after this, so we should.
Alright, Senator Winter.
Motion to adjourn.
All those in favor of adjournment say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. You're adjourned.